Beep, 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 beep. Hello, all, and welcome once again to the Court of the Year Digester. Here's one for the ages. This is quite extraordinary. From the Telegraph from the 7th of November. And the Telegraph continued to use the LGBTQ acronym, which drives me up the bloody wall. I'm sure that they should really get their act together, and I don't know why the media is not waking up yet, but hopefully it will shortly. Just gay people want nothing to do with any of it, quite frankly, and I'm hearing that more and more from more gay people. There's something terribly wrong. And in this particular story, which you can see in front of you there, transgender men sue NHS over half-built genitalia. What they mean is women sue NHS over female genital mutilation. That's what the headlines should say. Headlines should say. Human rights lawyers are representing patients after their surgeries were unexpectedly halted. Really? Unexpectedly halted. The surgeries that are supposed to make them into something they cannot possibly, by anybody's bloody valuation, become. What you have to remember about this surgery, all of it is all 100% a failure. There is no such thing as a successful surgery because there's no such thing as gender affirming care. There's no such thing as, transition. It doesn't exist. It's nonsense and it needs to be stopped. So you can see here, reported by Samuel Montgomery. Transgender women have threatened to sue the NHS after being left with half-built genitalia. You can't half-build a genitalia. What is wrong with the Telegraph that they should write this in such a way? I don't understand why they can't get it right. Human rights lawyers are representing patients who have been left with indeterminate genitalia and psychological distress after their surgery processes were unexpectedly halted. NHS England has commissioned St Peter's Andrology Centre, a private clinic in North London, to carry out the surgeries, but did not renew the contract upon its expiry in March 2020. Absolutely right. Right? There's no way on God's earth that the NHS should be carrying out these operations. No way. It was not until September 2021 that New Victoria Hospital in Kingston was appointed as a replacement provider, creating a backlog that has left many patients facing delays of up to 4 years, midway through procedures that require multiple operations. There you go, multiple operations. We're deliberately operating on these women. It's female genital mutilation. It's that simple. Law firm Lee Day, working with LGBTQ+ group, transactional. These people are a danger. They're involved in talking to Europe. They're an absolute danger. Has written to NHS England and St Peter's to demand a formal response before legal action is taken. Lawyers have been investigating the collapse of commissioning arrangements, which contributed to surgery delays that left patients with physical and psychological stress, as well as further gender dysphoria. So what they're doing here is they're suing to force the NHS to provide female and male genital mutilation on demand. That's what they're doing. The two genital surgeries, the genital mutilation in question is metidioplasty and phalloplasty, in which a penis is created from existing genital tissue or from skin grafts from elsewhere on the body, respectively. That makes me shiver. They are complex procedures that commonly require 3 stages of surgery. They're not complex procedures. They are Frankenstein Mengele level experiments, and they need to stop. It needs to be made illegal. St Peter's website states that there would normally be at least a 3-month wait between surgeries, and patients were told by the surgical teams that they could expect to wait 6 to 12 months between surgeries. However, following the commissioning issue, patients now face delays of up to 4 years. One patient, Matthew, not his real name, brackets, close brackets, it's utterly surreal, said, "I've now been living for 3 years with an incomplete penis reconstruction." It's not a penis reconstruction, Matthew. Right, whoever you are, madam, it's not an incomplete penis reconstruction. It's just flesh they've messed with. This continues to have vast negative impact on it. Are you kidding me? Right, the fact that you've hacked yourself up is having vast negative impact on your mental health. Yeah, you bet it is. My confidence has disappeared. I haven't been able to socialise like I used to, travel or gain new employment. That's because you've brutalised yourself. That's because you brutalised yourself in the name of a cult, exactly like the Skopsy that they used to have in Russia, another cult that did exactly the same thing to people, but yet without the niceties of modern medicine. It stops. The entire thing is an absolute damn disgrace. I find it hard to trust people, Matthew continues. I've been hugely affected by stress, which has resulted in other knock-on health issues, such as anxiety, depression, insomnia, hair loss, and suicidal ideation. What you should be doing is suing the NHS for doing it at all. Not so that you can get the rest of it done. What do you think is going to make you better? It's not going to make you better. It's going to make you far, far worse because you are mutilating your body in the name of a cult. It's not hard. Lawyers claim patients had gone through with the first stage of their surgeries prior to 2020 without being informed of the delays and were still waiting to finish the process. Some patients have been informed that New Victoria Hospital will perform the second stage of the metoidioplastic surgery in 2 stages, meaning that patients will now face an additional surgical procedure that they did not expect or consent to when they chose their plan. They aren't, right, first off, they aren't patients, they're experiment subjects. It's absolutely atrocious. Leigh Day said it had also been approached by people who were not yet to receive a surgical referral or had received a surgical referral but were yet to be added to the waiting list. The law firm added that it was seeking to hold those responsible to account and prevent such mistakes from being repeated, as well as secure compensation for its 60 claimants. Kate Edgerton, they're suing the wrong people. You should be suing Transactual. You should be suing Stonewall. Kate Edgerton, a solicitor at Leigh Day, said being left in between surgeries or for the procedures to commence has created intense physical and emotional turmoil for our clients who are facing increased gender dysphoria, the very thing that the procedures were supposed to mitigate, and that we know, Kate, don't. We are arguing that the defendants have been negligent in their provision of the surgeries. It's not that the individual's been negligent in allowing it to happen to themselves. No, God forbid you should have to take personal responsibility for what you've done. But if they've lied to these patients, right, about the possibilities, that's what they should be sued for. Not because they won't carry on the Mengele level experiments on their body that these damn people want them to. Another solicitor, Anna Dews, had added, this claim raises important issues around access to healthcare, but there are equally important legal questions around informed consent. Right? This is not healthcare. God almighty. Speaking on behalf of Transactual, Director Che Brown said NHS England could have done more to help those left in limbo. He said, is it a he? Who knows? We believe that there are things the defendants could have done to mitigate the impact of the commissioning issues, such as moving some surgeries abroad and putting in place dedicated counselling. But NHS Specialist Commissioning chose not to and has not even apologised to those affected. That's you. That's on you. You're responsible. You and your other jumped up bloody LGBTQ groups and trans nutters. You're responsible for what has happened to these women. A spokesman for St. Peter's said we can confirm receipt of a letter before action, which raises a potential claim against St. Peter's Andrology Centre, and this is being investigated carefully. It would not be appropriate to provide comment at this stage. You know, sometimes you sit back and you think, how the hell do we get here? Well, not sometimes. I do that every day. 2 questions I ask myself every day. Are you the bad guy? How the hell did we get here? This is simply the mutilation of genitals. It is simply the cosmetic and ideological harvesting of the human body as a generator of money. That's all it is. That's all it is. Corporatism meets the hard left, and that, by the way, is fascism. Anyway, let's just keep going and make sure we can stop this from ever happening to anybody again. The whole damn thing comes down. The whole damn thing. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.